DIY friends, today we leveled the floor and it's gonna be a good day. We're back working on the worst room in my home, turning it from what was a real life junk drawer into what I hope will be my dream cottagecore inspired pantry laundry room combo. So much work has gone into this space already, but today we're looking to the floor, giving it the level up it deserves. We also break more walls and fix them again, and we find out just how good my drywall mudding skills are. Somebody tap in, please. I don't want to do this. I mean, is this not the true Halloween horror series of the season? Am I right? Friends, I need this to go well. Editor, roll the tape. Boop. What are we doing?
The first thing we're gonna do is remove the baseboard heaters.
I've wanted these gone for so long. Okay, so we have two in the room. We have one here, and then we have one on the other wall here. This one actually we haven't even turned on since we moved into this house. So that's fun. We're actually gonna relocate that one into the washroom because we actually have a radiator in there that we keep to make sure that the pipes don't freeze in the winter. And then this one we're gonna relocate underneath the window here because you can't really normally put anything underneath this window, so it's a perfect place for it. Then what?
Then we're going to figure out how much we need to slope the floor so that it doesn't mess up our doorway.
If you guys remember in episode 1, Jeff and I went and we measured and did some math to basically figure out where the deepest slopes were, where our ground zero was. So everything got leveled off at that point, but when we started doing the math, we realized there was certain areas that were actually out more than 3.5 inches because we were gonna use 2x4s. So what was the largest point? It was like 4?
6 inches.
6 inches? No, I thought it was like 4.5.
No, it was more than a 2x6. It was like 6 inches. So that's like from the lowest point in the floor here, all the way up to like right by the doorway. It's like actually 6 inches.
Wow. So from here to here, it slopes 6 inches.
To get it up as high as possible, to even it out as much as possible, we also have to be cognizant of not raising the floor too much so that the doorway doesn't become functional anymore.
Right.
And so what we're going to end up doing is having a 1% slope from this side of the room to this side of the room. 1% slope is commonly used on like garage floors to make sure that the water and
right.
Anywhere where there's water drainage, and 1% slope is pretty much minimal.
Yeah.
But when you're walking on it, it basically doesn't feel like it's sloped.
By doing that, it allows us to keep the door still able to open and close properly without having to structurally change anything there.
Yeah. So we're gonna set it as high as is reasonable.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna add 4 millimeters per fake joist we're putting in so that the floor goes essentially this way at a 1% slope. So
essentially, we got our work cut out for us. Challenge accepted. I know exactly what's going on right now. I am sous chef, he chef today. I will sous chef, yes sir. This video includes an ad for BetterHelp. Doing renovations in your home and living in chaos can cause a lot of stress and anxiety. Everything around you is messy and dysfunctional, and that clutter becomes how your brain feels, and there's a lot of change that just throws off your everyday routines, which for me, like, is super important. I'm a routine person. And then there's the time of the year to talk about. It gets darker earlier and the season shifts. We have big holidays, which for some can create a whirlwind of big emotions, and that weight can be really hard to talk about. I mean, for me, I'm thankful to have resources like BetterHelp that have been a life tool for me to get through these challenging times and just the change that has come with it. Having someone to talk about the hard stuff makes everything feel a little less heavy, and if you feel the same way, BetterHelp can be a tool to make it easier. Their platform makes finding a therapist easy because it's all done online, and by filling out a few personal questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist, usually within the first 48 hours. Depending on what kind of therapy you need, they have a diverse network of credentialed professionals with a wide range of specialties and backgrounds. Once you approve your therapist match, you get access to the BetterHelp portal, and basically you could just talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's messaging, over phone, or video call. I like the fact that you can message your therapist at any time and just schedule live sessions, especially if you're just having a bad day and you really just need that emergency session. My friends, your mental health is not to be dismissed. No matter how you feel about therapy, I truly believe that in dark times, talking to someone is better than talking to no one, because even just one conversation can make a difference. And if BetterHelp can make it easier for you to do that, then I encourage you to use the link in my description box or go to betterhelp.com/DIY-Danie to give you 10% off your first month of therapy. I mean, this thing can't be rocket science. I don't know if that was supposed to come out. This has got ages of DIY crusted into it. Look at me go. Did you start eating the sandals without me? What?
I made you a beautiful sandwich.
Yeah, but you didn't wait.
You would have just had a cup of cereal.
Yeah. All right, that's a good looking sandal.
Gourmet.
Gourmet sandal. So to kick off our floor leveling day, we got the last radiator removed from the wall, and we did some final measuring to adjust for the needed 1% slope to compensate for our back door. We printed our handy dandy list of measurements that corresponded to each of the 12 faux floor joists that included the necessary elevation calculations along each joist to compensate for said slope. So now all we had to do was follow the numbers, mark each number on our 2x4, and just cut it with the circular saw. One down, a few more to go. Oh, you're already going with a level. Oh, it's in the lines. That's level to me.
Topographical map seems to be working out okay.
Good job, love. Math wins today.
That's the reason why you married me?
For math? That's not the reason why I married you.
No.
Nope. Actually, a lot of people in the first episode were asking why we didn't pour cement in here. Do you want to explain why?
One, it is a significant volume of cement that I don't want to mix by hand. Two, we spent less than $100 on 2x4s.
Yeah.
Three, all that cement is very heavy. It's not gonna make it better. So
honestly, I was like, my two things were cost, and it was just gonna be so messy. I was like, I just don't want to go there. Like, this felt like the path of least resistance to me.
Going with the self-leveling route is great when you've got, you know, you're trying to level an uneven surface, like maybe up to ½ an inch. But like I said,
that's a lot. Imagine having to pour that much cement, like literally.
The slope of most of this
is
was a centimeter every 16 inches.
okay.
And we're 4 millimeters. So it's 2.5, 5 inches. It should be very close.
So this room was at like 10,000%.
This was at 3%.
What I said.
10,000%.
What in the slope is going on in this room? I mean, I don't know about all these percentages, but I am 100% sure what we are doing is going to make this room feel so much better. So we spent the rest of the afternoon cutting all the joists, which went pretty fast once we got into the rhythm of things. Now, we would check the level every once in a while, but it would appear that math was winning today, friends. And I love that. Oh my gosh, we did it! Yes! Now that all our joists were in place, Jeff and I measured for the center of the room to determine where our plywood sheets, aka our subfloor, would properly sit down on the joists so that they could be screwed in properly. And from there, we just started screwing our joists down to the floor using small spacers to ensure they were properly spaced to account for the spaces of our subfloor. Honestly, considering all the challenges that this day could have provided us, adding the joists and placing down the subfloor went particularly well. There are always little bumps and frustrations to any demo day, but all around, we went into this day with a slanted floor and we ended our day on a level ground, and to me, that is a darn successful day in the world of home construction, if I do say so myself. Good morning, friends. I am now standing on a level floor. Okay, like look, I can put the camera down. Let's see, I'm gonna level the camera. Do I look level right now? Because I feel level. This feeling feels so weird. And when I'm like standing out from the hallway perspective and I'm like looking in, even just looking into the room, it feels so weird. It's so strange to me. Anyways, that was just a big moment. So there's a few things that I want to get done today. First thing is I need to finish this wall. So we actually need to drywall this section in. I need to add a bar up here because I want to add a piece of drywall that comes down here and just kind of like closes and make this look nice. We need to also work around the plumbing, so that's fun. The other thing that I need to think about is this threshold here. When we were building the floor, we weren't sure how the threshold was going to look, kind of going up from the main entry into this room. So I need to think about what that looks like. When we were doing the flooring, we didn't know how we wanted it to be because I didn't know what flooring I was gonna bring into this room. But since that discussion, we've actually figured out what the flooring is. I'm gonna be putting down like a tile. It's 0.6 millimeters in thickness, which is good because I really didn't want to add a lot of extra height in this room. It's gonna make it look great. It's low profile. So I think this is a great solution, but it also dictates now how I want my threshold to look. I need to brainstorm that, but I figured if I'm gonna be doing some hard grunt work today, I might as well bring in somebody to help. And my dad called me and he goes, well, I owe you for helping me out with my Halloween installation, so I'm coming down to help you. What do you got? And I'm like, do I have jobs for you? So Papa Berger is gonna be coming down today to help me drywall that wall. We're gonna brainstorm the threshold, and I also have like a little mini side quest project for him that I think he's really gonna enjoy. You guys will see. Papa? Who is that? Faja! What do you think? Nice, right? So
Yeah.
level? Do you feel it?
I can feel it now. Should you factor that into the spreadsheet?
I don't know, factor that into Jeff's spreadsheet. I was just there for vibes. We have 3 jobs to do today.
Cool.
2 are important to this room and 1 is a side quest for you. Come.
Toys. I love toys.
Okay, so side quest 2.0 is this.
Nice.
Do you know what this is?
This is Skelly. Are you okay in there?
It's Scully! It's
Look
the
at this
10-foot
size.
high skeleton. So this one has like the cool little moving eyes. This is definitely a project for you.
Do I have to read the directions?
What do you know about human anatomy?
Yeah.
Right bone connected to the hip bone.
Yep, leave it to Papa Berger to make the worst dad jokes. And I'm allowed to say that because I make some terrible jokes. But I did tell him before he could build Skelly, he had to help me get the drywall finished. So now he was super motivated to help me out. Now, in order for me to make my drywall seams clean, I opted to have us remove the bottom sheet of drywall that I originally thought was one full sheet with the top, but I learned it was not, so by removing it, I could put in one full sheet along the bottom, creating a nice flush seam, which would make my mudding journey later a lot easier. I realize this seems counterproductive, but it's actually making my life easier in the future. The good news was that we have lots of drywall sheets from our garage, so replacing these pieces was no extra charge to my wallet. So for the bottom piece, we did have the plumbing to work around, so it did require a bit of finessing and measuring and hole drilling in to what we hoped was the correct spots for everything to line up nicely, but I think it went okay. And then from there, we added some cross supports above the washer and dryer so that we had something to tie the drywall into. Honestly, I have to say I love working with my dad because him and I think exactly the same way. You know the words, I am my father's daughter? I think those words have never been so true. So that, you know, when we start doing home renter projects, we are always on the same page, same wavelength. We know how each other thinks and we can get things done super quickly. I mean, Jeff says that we're both way too reckless together, but he says reckless, I say efficient, and you guys can pick which one you think is correct. But after my ceiling drywall journey in the last episode, I can confidently say I was pretty happy that this was going to be the last bit of drywalling this room was going to need before we could finally start seeing this room get put back together again. Okay, so for context, we did end up wrapping the drywall around the 2x4 opening of the washer and dryer unit, so it would kind of look nice and finished, but eventually the unit, the washer and dryer unit, that's going to sit flush with the wall opening, so only a little bit of those sides will be seen. So I'm not too worried that it's a little shallow because we're never going to see it later on. Oh my gosh, friends, it looks so weird to see a wall in this place now. It's like bizarre to me. It feels so nice and clean. Like I can actually kind of see how this room is starting to shape up. Okay, so Dad is outside. He's actually building Scully for me, our 10-foot skeleton, which might be the better job right about now because I'm about to start mudding again. And then this is the last piece to the puzzle. I gotta finish this and then we can finally start priming and painting this room. And once we're painted, then I can actually get the trim up and oh, it's gonna come together so beautifully. Now, for here, because I have these corner pieces, I'm actually using this edging. So it's got a little metal piece on the inside so that this is gonna sit up nice and snug to the corner, and then I just drywall mud on top of it, and it makes it nice and seamless, gives me a nice good corner, and it's gonna look snazzy. I'm gonna tape up all these joints, get the ceiling done, get these corners done, and then Bob's your uncle. Then we get to see how Scully looks. I'm pretty sure that's a buddy build, but I know my dad can do it by himself. Okay, wish us luck. So I'm pretty sure my dad spent like 20 minutes tops building Skelly, which I guess is a testament to his Halloween building experience and how simple the setup of Skelly was, but I was nowhere near done the mudding, so I gave Dad the job of working on the front step into the space. We needed to remove the current kick plate on the step and rebuild it to work with the new flooring that I was going to put down. It's always very scary when new areas of the house start getting pulled away because I feel like it just starts to present new issues that we didn't see coming or we weren't aware of. Yuck. And then we got a nice little critter hole. I dare you to put your hand in there. Okay, so we're gonna block that hole, put in a brace here, and then we're gonna build another floor that goes down and down. So I did let my dad deal with that, and per usual, I just kept mudding. That looks amazing. That looks fantastic. Look at that little step. Nice. Now to finish off our day, I had Dad help me switching out the weather strip seal at the bottom of the door. This new one was going to give me a few extra inches of room to ensure my floor was going to work when I was ready to install it. But all in all, we got a lot accomplished, and as always, I am forever grateful for this time with my dad. Well, look what we did today. We fixed the door. We got the corner ready. It's all drywalled and now it's mudded. It's gonna need a couple coats, but it's done. Dad fixed he fixed the step. Definitely a step up, don't you think?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And we got Skelly up in record time. Way to go.
Good day.
Good morning, friends. Yesterday was eventful. I think Dad and I got a lot done. Well, a lot more than I thought we were gonna get done, to be honest. But sadly, I am rocking a wrist brace, and unfortunately, I need to keep this very tight. I actually sprained this wrist 2 weeks ago, and it was part of the reason why we took the week off to go do an episode of Secondhand on Demand, because I literally couldn't put any weight on it, and I tried to just kind of get through the week, letting it really rest, but it seems that I just did the wrong thing this week again, and right back to square one. So I'm back to wearing the brace, but I did go and buy myself something today because my wrist is so bad now, and it really only needs like a light sand. I went and bought myself this. It's like a round, who makes this? Richard. It's a round pole sander, and I think this might be easier with my wrist because I can actually use my left as kind of like the driving force for it and just use this hand as a guide. But I thought it would be fun to chat about potential colors for this space. I did go buy some samples, so I'll show you guys the colors that I'm thinking for this room. There's like the bold choices and then there's the safe choices. So I got antique white, which is like a really warm white. To pit up against the antique white, I got, what's this one? Cottage white, because you know. So we got cottage white. And then we got Morning Dove. So this is actually the color that I did in my living room. I really wanted this space to not feel separated from my house. But I also didn't want this space to feel like an outlier. I'd love for once for this space to feel connected to the home. So going with a neutral base and then bringing in some pop of kind of like moody colors would definitely be a me thing. But then I was thinking, well, it'd be nice to bring in some accent colors. So I was playing with, well, 2 blues and 2 greens. So here's the blues I'm playing with. Green meets blue, and this one's called In the Moment, which I love. It's a little bit deeper. And then the other 2 accent colors I was thinking about were these greens. I wanted 2 very different greens, something a little bit more warmer. So this one's called Ecological. It's very pretty. And then this one's called Green Tea Leaf. So it's got a bit of a yellow undertone to it, but I kind of love it. I think there's just something so lovely about kind of like a mossy green. I think I love the greens, and I know everyone's like, it's a millennial thing. I don't even care. I freaking love green. I don't even care what anyone says. I love it. But this green in particular, I think would look so good with everything. Like, it would look so good on black. It looks so good with like deep rusty reds and like deep maroons, which I do have in my home a lot. It looks really great with mustards, so much that I'm gonna go show you just how well this is gonna look. Let's go on a little adventure. Okay, so we have the red floor. Look how lovely that goes with that. Okay, we have wood. It looks lovely against wood. I actually have Moroccan spice in my kitchen. I love the way that this looks together. It looks good on black. It looks good with creams. It looks good against reds. And then we have this color in my back. Look how beautiful these colors play together. Oh, so I feel like that would be so pretty. This is antique white. Ooh, I really like this color. Oh, it's such a good cream. I want to get like a good chunk done so I can really see what it's gonna look like. Honestly, I really love that. Okay, so then this is cottage white. How much do we want to bet that this isn't even gonna look different? It's very subtle. This one's a little bit whiter. If you did a whole room in this color, I think you would definitely play it off as just like looking white. I don't know, I think I actually like cottage white more right now. Well, you can really see it on the camera, like the difference. This is definitely a lighter base. Okay, Morning Dove, you're up. Every time I do this, I feel like it looks exactly the same. Oh, I just love Morning Dove so much. Okay, so there's our 3 white bases. Antique white, cottage white, Morning Dove. What do you guys think? I want some suggestions in the comment section below, please. My gut is here. I think, you know what, if we kind of got 3 and one's very much in the middle, like we have like a full spectrum here, I'd say cottage white is probably maybe the go. Okay, let's play with colors. Let's go with green meets blue. I'm really excited to see this. All right, accent color number 1. Wow, that's actually really pretty. So that is green meets blue, In the Moment. This is the one I've been the most excited for. I kind of love this one's called In the Moment. It kind of reminds me of the things that I've been kind of reflecting on in this fall in a weird way. You know, with 2025, the way it's gone for me, you know, I've shared that there's been some losses in my family. And I think that reflection has kind of really made me look at the way I spend my time and who I spend my time with and the way I spend that time, you know, just being more present, especially with the people that I love. You know, when I get the time to spend with my family, you know, I'm not spending it feeling elsewhere. I just try to be present in the moment. So I feel like the fact that this is called In the Moment, I don't know, maybe I'm just really drawn to it and the color feels right, but maybe it's a sign, who knows? Ooh, I do really like this. Yeah, that is so pretty. It's funny, in here it kind of has a little bit of a greeny undertone, doesn't it? Moving on to our actual greens. Let's do ecological. Oh, I really like that. Now the last one, we got green tea leaf. I would say this is definitely my wild card, but I kind of love it. I love this kind of pukey green. I don't know why. We're gonna let that dry, see how it looks once it's nicely dried on the wall. We're gonna look at it throughout the different times of the day, sunny, morning, evening, horrible light, good light, and see which one speaks to me. I mean, maybe none of these will speak to me. I don't know. I think right now though, cottage white is definitely taken charge in terms of the whites. And I don't know, I feel like I might be leaning more towards these two. All right, I'm gonna start sanding and we'll get this day going. Honestly, friends, I'm still not sure those are the right colors. I might even do a small test of the Moroccan spice on the wall, and I want to do the twin berry, the reddish color at my back door, which honestly I'm pretty obsessed with, so that could be a big contender. But I can't even start painting until I get this silly ceiling completed and sanded, which was starting to take me longer than expected due to my wrist injury. And of course I was sick, so there was just a lot of delays, but that sanding disc was pretty useful for the ceiling. So 10 out of 10, would use this again. Somebody tap in, please. I don't want to do this. Well, friends, it was the final day of this week, and my ultimate goal was to finish this week having the ceiling finally primed for painting. I actually spent most of the morning doing the final sanding on all the ceiling corners, which is why I looked like I walked straight into a chalk dust cloud. But there was still a small section of the ceiling that would need to be avoided because the washing machine area, it kind of still needed a little bit of mudding and sanding. So, but working around that small area would be super easy. So I decided to move ahead with my plan and start painting. Now, because this is raw drywall, you can't simply just paint directly onto it. The drywall needs a special drywall primer. So regular primers are made to seal porous surfaces so that the top coat of your paint that you choose will adhere better, and it's gonna kind of provide a more uniform base color. But drywall primers, they're specifically made for new drywall and joint compound seams. So these primers include something called PVA, which stands for high polyvinyl acetate. which basically it's just like a glue-like resin that soaks into the paper facing of your drywall and that porous joint compound. So it just kind of seals everything evenly. This paint is also runnier than normal primer, so instead of going on thick, it kind of just soaks in and keeps your paint from looking really blotchy, which is something we don't want. All I'm trying to say is that if you fail to use the proper drywall primer, you could end up seeing all the lines where that drywall compound was through your paint. Well, that would just suck. Okay, friends, not to toot my own horn here, but honestly, toot, because this ceiling looked pretty darn flat once painted, which means all of that sanding and layers and more sanding certainly paid off. Oh my gosh, it's looking flawless. Listen, I'm no professional, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. I haven't felt this disheveled in a while. I feel a lot of things. There's paint in my hair, there's dust in my hair, there's sweat in my hair.
You kind of look like a sickly Victorian child, just like,
Please, cure my measles. Well, this has been a week. I still can't get over how much we accomplished. It doesn't seem like a lot because everything is still so undone.
Yeah.
It's like hard to remember and celebrate the little moments because like when the room isn't drastically changing, you're like, well, what's been done? But like, we've leveled the floor. The floor is level now.
Yeah.
Which is the craziest feeling.
We're not tilting sideways.
We're not tilting sideways. My hips aren't crying anymore.
Yeah.
And we finished the drywall and where like the opening for the washing machine, the door is fixed, the step is now fixed, and the mudding for the ceiling is done. It's painted and it actually doesn't look like crap. You know, I know that this isn't like the sexiest videos because, you know, we just want to get to the end, we want to see it, but the reality is this stuff takes time and I'm working literally as fast as I can. I mean, I'm going on weekends and I'm going through the week and I'm working as fast as I can, and it's either a choice of put up one video a month or weekly videos of what's happening. So you guys get to choose. Less videos, but more of an impact, or more videos, but you see all the in-between, which honestly I would prefer because this is reality. This is what it looks like. Next week is gonna be a big transformation. We are officially putting the new flooring in. We are going to be painting the walls, painting the ceiling, and I gotta say I'm really excited.
I'm excited too.
Well, we're also doing trim. So yeah, we're gonna be doing something a little interesting with the trim that I've never done before, but I do think that it's gonna be really fun and make it very cottage core, rustic, with a little organic vibe. So I'm very excited.
Sounds fun.
So with that said, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already, because it does help these videos. And comment down below, what was your favorite color that I showed you? Or are you like team none? Which was your favorite whites for the wall? And what was your favorite accent color? Love to know, comment down below. And of course, all the love to my Patreon crew, the DIY family. Where would we be without you guys and your support? If you guys are looking for a community of DIYers to support you through your projects, go join my Patreon. It is the place to be. Plus, if you like my content, but you want it ad-free and earlier in the week, then you definitely want to sign up. Other than that, we're gonna go clean ourselves up because we don't look well.
I have so much paint in my hair.
And yeah, so we'll see you guys next week. Stay positive, stay creative, keep on